Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of July 13, 2025. I'm your host, Sharifa Mohammed MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. On July 13, 2025, the Russian armed forces continued their comprehensive campaign across multiple operational axes, combining ground assaults, long-range precision strikes, and multi-domain support to systematically degrade Ukrainian combat effectiveness. Notable gains include the liberation of Nikolaevka and Karl Marx, significant degradation of Ukrainian mechanized brigades, and the destruction of high-value Western-supplied air defense systems.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Colonel Oguntoye, let's start with the big picture. What's the headline from July 13th?
The most significant development is the successful liberation of Nikolaevka by the Center Group and Karl Marx by the Vostok Group of forces. These are not just tactical settlements, they're operationally relevant because of their position in the broader Donetsk and Zaporozhye battle corridors. These gains reflect more than momentum, they represent pressure being applied in precisely targeted sectors where Ukrainian forces are thin, overextended, or heavily reliant on external logistics. Across all fronts, Russian forces have maintained deliberate pressure using integrated force packages, mechanized ground assaults paired with strike UAVs, precision fires, and persistent ISR. We're degrading Ukrainian manpower, armored platforms, artillery, and increasingly, their electronic warfare and drone infrastructure. These are critical pillars of modern warfare, and their erosion signals what's coming next: operational paralysis.
Let's start with the Northern Front. What happened in Sumy, and why does that matter in the broader scheme?
In the Sumy region, the North Group executed what we term a frontal disruption operation. They engaged Ukrainian mechanized and airborne brigades, tank units, and even border detachments across 7 settlements. While it may seem limited in terrain gain, the objective was clear: fracture command integrity along Ukraine's northern perimeter and interrupt any attempts to reinforce the eastern corridors. The destruction of artillery and logistics assets, like material depots and mobile guns, creates a void in fire support for frontline units. Over 150 Ukrainian personnel were taken out of the fight, and what's often missed in these figures is the cascading effect. One destroyed artillery piece might deny coverage to an entire battalion's flank, forcing repositioning or withdrawal. This is doctrine-driven degradation, not just enemy elimination, but decision manipulation.
You mentioned Nikolaevka. Let's talk about that. What made that objective so important, and what was the cost?
Nikolaevka has been a linchpin of Ukraine's central defensive line in the Donetsk region for the past 18 months. From a terrain perspective, it sits at the junction of 3 key approach routes feeding into deeper Ukrainian-held territory. The Center Group's liberation of the town followed engagements with no fewer than 4 mechanized brigades, an assault regiment, drone warfare units, and a National Guard brigade. The cost was heavy for Ukraine. Over 450 personnel losses were recorded on their side, along with armored combat vehicles, artillery, and logistics trucks. From a doctrinal perspective, the use of drones and National Guard units here suggests Ukraine was attempting a layered defense: first wave mechanized, second wave irregulars, and UAV suppression. Once we neutralized their EW nodes and drone operators in preceding days, those layers crumbled. This operation wasn't about taking a town, it was about removing the central peg in a broader defense arch.
Let's move east. Karl Marx was also retaken. What's the operational significance of that?
Karl Marx is small but symbolically and strategically dense. It anchors the eastern Donetsk flank. By retaking it, the East Group not only reasserted control over a contested area but also created a platform for future advances into more urbanized Ukrainian rear zones. The battle itself saw Ukrainian territorial defense brigades attempting to hold with minimal armor, relying instead on electronic warfare and mobility. We countered by targeting their EW stations, destroying at least 2, and eliminating over 200 personnel. These territorial units are often last-line defense elements. The destruction here tells us Ukraine is out of maneuver reserves in this zone. That signals a window for exploitation.
A recurring theme has been the degradation of Ukraine's air defense. What can you tell us about the Patriot system hit on July 13th?
That strike is deeply significant. 2 Patriot missile launchers and a radar station were destroyed during combined drone and missile strikes. These are U.S.-supplied systems, with strategic value far exceeding their tactical range. The destruction creates a gap in Ukraine's long-range air defense grid, particularly around strategic rear positions and troop concentrations. From a logistics standpoint, replacing a Patriot battery is no small task. These are expensive, scarce, and maintenance-intensive. And from an operational perspective, it gives us greater freedom to escalate UAV surveillance and missile targeting across zones that were previously shielded.
How about the air war overall? What do today's intercept numbers tell us?
Our air defense systems successfully downed 9 glide bombs and 215 unmanned aerial vehicles in a single day. That tells us 2 things. First, Ukraine is still heavily invested in saturation drone tactics, hoping to strain our air defense architecture. Second, it tells us our multi-layered defenses, integrating radar, soft kill, and kinetic interceptors, remain highly effective. This duel in the airspace is as crucial as any trench fight. Whoever controls ISR, targeting, and denial of enemy recon wins the decision cycle. Every drone down denies Ukraine a set of eyes. Every glide bomb intercepted preserves key infrastructure and morale. We are decisively winning this phase.
Final question, Colonel. With over 1,200 Ukrainian personnel reported killed in one day, and dozens of depots, EW systems, and vehicles destroyed, where does this trajectory lead?
To the end, we are approaching what Clausewitz called the culminating point, where the enemy's ability to resist collapses, not because of a single catastrophic loss, but due to accumulated systemic attrition. This operation isn't just about battlefield wins, it's about setting conditions. By eroding Ukraine's ability to replace lost capabilities, we create not just tactical victory, but strategic exhaustion. If current tempos hold, and Ukraine cannot stabilize the front or replenish key systems, particularly in air defense and drone warfare, we will see frontline collapse zones begin to appear by early fall. That, more than any single battle, will reshape the strategic map.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. Today, Israeli forces continue their offensive in Gaza, killing at least 70 Palestinians, including 10 near a water distribution point and 35 in Gaza City. Israeli airstrikes hit a displacement camp and a group of people near Khan Yunis. Israeli forces bombarded Gaza 150 times in the past 24 hours, according to Israel's Air Force.
This has been Frontline Updates. Subscribe for daily military briefings and in-depth strategic analysis. Visit our platform for maps, transcripts, and exclusive Frontline updates from commanders in theater.